Perfect. So, Norman, thank you again for doing this. Like I wrote to you, I am writing a book right now. I'm almost done. It's almost going to go into editing, and I've been a headhunter for almost 18 years now, and it's really always been my mission and passion to help people. And that's what I liked about your profile as well, because I noticed that, well, we have that in common. I like the fact that you're helping entrepreneurs and you really take the pride in connecting with leaders and just helping them grow. I see that briefly in your profile. And so I've been interviewing leaders like yourself across North America because I really would like to have your take and to share with people on the other side, which are the job seekers, your take when it comes to, for example, when you were in charge, or if you're in charge right now of hiring, your most memorable interview, good or bad, you know? I'd like to even hear a little bit about what catches your eye immediately in a resume. And also maybe what candidates might underestimate about, how they're seen and how decision makers see them, you know? So I'd love to target that. So maybe if you could explain a little bit about what you do day to day and how you are involved with hiring in your daily life or
Yeah, so
business.
thank you so thank you so much. So I've had the privilege of kind of getting involved into hiring for the past, maybe you'd say close to 18, 18 years maybe,
Oh, wow. Okay.
because I used to work in Rwanda. My first job was like a business development manager for like a provincial, um, at the provincial level
Okay.
of the Rwanda Private Sector Federation, which is like the Chamber of Commerce in
Right.
these countries.
Right.
And so we, at the time, we had a lot of funding from the European Union, and we were trying to establish those centers so that we can kind of have an opportunity to directly impact the economic reconstruction of Rwanda after the genocide.
Wow.
So under me, I already had close to, I think initially I had 3 people, but then after 2 years, the funding was kind of ending, and I was brought at the national level and tasked to do like a restructuring of the program and how it worked so that it can
Right.
be private consultant based rather than being employees based. And so then I kind of laid out the restructuring strategy, how to keep some of the employees who are doing well and how to identify new people who can work in those roles and to continue to serve the business community basically. So one of the things for me that stands out like in a resume, because like let's say like today, for example, with AI, every resume will look very good. So I would say the moment I look at a resume and read it and keeping in mind that every resume looks sharp,
Okay.
I would
So
try
use
to
the
look
look.
for authentic and relatable experiences and the way those experiences are structured.
Right.
So, for example, if someone is saying then I will probably not give it probably 2 minutes. If I see like two eyes, it's already gone. If I see a lot of we, then I'm going to probably to look at maybe metrics, impact, what was the beginning like, how is the story structured, and what does the end look like.
Right.
And if it feels like it's not highly, I like to use the word spice. They are not highly
Right.
spiced. If they
Right.
look like, okay, this could be, it's relatable, it's realistic, and then you can quickly think in your mind. So if, for example, someone tells you
Mm.
they were working on a project, let's say in Kingston where I live, and the organization has 10 employees maximum, and they are saying they led a team of 20, then were they part-time, were they full-time, you know? like there are some things you can quickly validate and kind of make
Right.
sense of the candidate.
Right,
And
of
so,
course.
yeah, so the ones where I can tell and say, okay, these stories seem like they are believable, then they automatically get shortlisted.
Okay, you
And
get
then
shortlisted and a phone call
yeah,
probably.
yeah, and then a phone call and those type of things. And then those that go through the interview, in the interview, I am more so I come from a background where if I do direct eye contact,
Mm.
it might mean something different. While here it means, yes, I know what I'm talking about, I'm confident about my stuff, blah, 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 blah.
Um,
But like where I come from, if I do direct eye contact with someone who's either hiring me or who's like older than me or who's my parent or who's a boss, then you are inviting a challenge. And
oh,
so I'm
that's
always
so
very
interesting.
cognizant, yeah, of that.
Yeah.
We
Uh-huh.
like it like counting the ceiling boards, whatever is on the ceiling, right? Because
Right,
we see
right,
people like even on Zoom or in like looking up.
right.
And so I would try to kind of take note of that so that in case we are during the deliberation process, someone looks legit, but people are trying to dismiss them because maybe they didn't look confident and whatever. I can probably say we should probably ask them about their cultural background, what it means, so that we don't lose a good candidate. Or I can ask actually that question towards the end of the interview, just to get their where they are coming from or why that's the case, so that
Right.
if anyone is doubting them while they are superstars, then it's on the table. People know where the person is coming from,
Exactly.
so that nobody
That's
loses a
such a
chance.
good point you make because it's true. I mean, we all around the world we have different nuances and different ways to communicate, and that is so true. Where you're from, if you look at somebody in the eye, you're up for a challenge. It's it's
Yes,
it's it's heavy. But whereas here we look for the eye contact.
yes.
And the opposite, if we don't get the eye contact, we
Mm,
read in North America, well, you're not interested, or what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Like, so yeah, it creates an insecurity and imbalance. That is so
yes.
interesting. Now, you say
Yeah,
that you would ask them their culture because, like, here in Canada, that's a good point you bring up. It's a little bit difficult in Canada or North America. It's sensitive to ask somebody sometimes where you're from when you really don't mean anything from it. You just genuinely want to know where they're from and have a conversation. Do you find
yeah,
that's a challenge here dealing with that?
yeah. It's very here people because they want to remain respectful and they don't want to make a
Yeah.
mistake.
Mm.
So there is that tendency to probably uh, kind of brush over things or do not bring them up. But also, like if you really want someone to get an opportunity, for me, I find like it's better you address it so that all the gray zones are kind of taken care of.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Yeah,
You mean for
yeah,
the person being interviewed to address
yeah, yeah,
sometimes to bring it forward and
yeah.
state where they're from, and I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because we lose a lot of quality people through going through like an almost like it's like a framework that has already been automated to say a good candidate meets da, 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 da. But we all know that there is a lot of nuances in terms of even like if you have 1 hour or 2 hours to identify the best person among 10 people you have shortlisted. It's not very easy to actually get the best or identify the best because you don't have enough time to interact with them.
Very true. Well,
Yeah.
don't do you believe that in a couple of interviews? 'Cause I
Yes.
agree with you, sometimes it's not enough time to see all the true colors or, for people to be at ease, and do you believe in second interviews?
Yeah. So basically, if you look at big companies like even like Facebook, Google, they have started putting like different levels, maybe even like to 5 different levels, right?
Yes, that's true.
And
Yeah,
so if you go through levels, then maybe level one can be just to get to know the person and see if they are just a good fit. Level two, probably put them into a scenario. Level three, maybe you test their leadership skills so that you
exactly.
have like different opportunities to meet some of these people and get to know them better or how they
I
treat,
agree.
how they work and values and so on and so
It
forth.
could be very time consuming for candidates that finally don't get the job, but I always tell my candidates not to despair because if you're interested in this organization and in this role, this is also your opportunity to learn more about the people that you will report to and work with. And you, guess what? You might not like them anymore. You might
Yeah.
realize, oh, I thought differently. I am not really interested in that type of a character or this type of organization. So it's also for you to further explore, and to
Yes.
use
Yeah.
that
And
opportunity.
also not only even exploring, even like I always tell people, so because of like how I live and how I talk and how I'm in all of these events or I'm in all of these meetings, people say, and also like I like being of service. People think I'm not selfish. I tell people, actually, if you're not selfish, something is wrong. I tell them like the only way I can probably try to give you the best advice or the best insights is because I'm selfish enough to know what type of insights I want myself.
Right.
And so sometimes I tell people like, if you are not looking at some of these things from a selfish and what will work for you angle, it's like love, right? It's like how are you gonna love someone else if you can't even have the audacity to love yourself?
Oh,
What
that
can,
is
right?
100%.
Yeah. So I
100%. Of course.
yeah,
Exactly.
so yeah, what I do is I tell them like, look, I know the process is long. There's a guy I was advising who was interviewing at Meta Labs in no, not Meta. He was going for AI, no, Algo AI. Algo AI was based in Pennsylvania, and he was just graduating here from Queens in Kingston, and he was interviewing there. And then when he got to the interview number three, he was kind of disappointed.
Oh,
And then I told him like, look, I
oh,
want you to be selfish. I want you to look at this process as you're learning, like learning how to interview, learning what probably higher pay. He was kind of going to start at around 150,000 US dollars. Like if a pay is higher, learn how like the context, like how the employers are approaching this, like be selfish and going for you, not going for the
exactly.
interview.
I
And then
agree.
I tell him like then ask them who are you competing with and where are they from? Because at that level, if you you make it to interview number three, you have earned to ask those questions.
100%.
Yeah, and then when he asked who was coming for the fourth interview, then they tell him it's a gentleman from Stanford and a lady from Harvard.
Okay.
And then I told him, then when he came with the insights, so you are the only Canadian, you are from Queens, you're not even from Waterloo. So you're going to have to go in that interview differently. I'm like, what's common among Harvard people and among Stanford people? I'm like, he's like, they are very smart. They are this. They are this. I'm like, if you have to critique them, what's going to be your critique? And he said, probably selfish or they are into themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Right.
okay, now if you know that the candidates you are going to go with, they think they are the cream of everything that happens in terms of labor in this world, what, from an employee's perspective, what are you going to do different? Because they are going to go there and show how they are superstars individuals. And then he's like, maybe I need to show that I am not just coming alone. I'm coming like, first of all, I don't work alone. Secondly, I'm not a lone wolf. And I work very well when I'm working in a big team.
In a big
And so
team.
yeah, so
Collaboration.
he was kind of he was finishing a master's of innovation and entrepreneurship, and that program has about 100 students from
Mm-hmm.
more than 50 countries.
Beautiful.
So I
Wow.
told him now, when you get into that room, the first thing you have to do, first of all, here talk to the program manager and have the profile of the students of the class and have like group them into like 5 geographic regions around the world. Then when you
Right.
enter that room, the first thing you do is you paint a picture of the of your access in terms of, because this is a company that is looking to scale. They have just raised 10 billion from I think GM. I'm like, you go in, you show them that if they want to pilot a product in Thailand, you have more than 50 people from that area. If you want to pilot a product, let's say in Europe, you have more than 20 people from that area that you're already
Right.
working with, that you have access to today.
Exactly.
And he was shortlisted with the lady from Harvard, and then he ended up getting the job,
Amazing.
right?
That's
So
brilliant.
yeah, sometimes you have to be like selfish and do it for your own good, just to learn and enjoy the process. Because
Exactly.
if you don't enjoy the process and the results are not what you want, then you feel like a loser. But if you've enjoyed the process and you've gotten some lessons, then either way you win. You have tools to use for your
Exactly.
next interview.
To enjoy it and also to be implicated in it, asking them questions. Like you said, I love that. Asking them, about their competitors, what are their projects, and already having a business, like a business talk on how you
Yes.
can participate in those projects.
Yeah.
And like you said, you'll end up learning a lot as well. The
Yeah.
worst case, you might realize it's not a project for you and you move it along. So
Yeah.
that's great advice. Oh my gosh, Norman, thank you. What
Yeah.
interesting projects are you working on these days? Anything interesting?
I have like a full time. So I have full time work in economic development. Then I have like part time my own side hustles. I have two of them. So in my full time work, I'm working with probably one of the smartest women alive,
Oh,
who's developing. I don't know if you know a lot about polymers. She's developing a new polymer electrolyzer membrane
wow.
that doesn't use any toxic chemicals. That is 100% environmentally
Oh
friendly,
my goodness.
and she has a patent for it. So it's a new invention.
Out in
Uh,
Kingston? She's out in
yes,
Kingston? That's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, and I'm
My
helping
goodness.
her
What
to commercialize it.
beautiful. Can I have her name on LinkedIn so I could follow her projects and her progress? Is
Yeah,
she on
I
LinkedIn?
don't know if she posts a lot.
Oh, that could be so interesting to follow and see that. My goodness.
Let me see if she's posting. She's from Zimbabwe, actually.
Beautiful. Oh, hopefully maybe one day we'll meet in person. Do you get to see Sharon still sometimes?
Not really, because I'm always chasing, right? I'm always moving eastern.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is
Thank you. I'm going to
that's her profile. She has
really.
two PhDs.
Wow, she definitely sounds brilliant. Copy link. I'll just put it. I would love to follow her and see. That's exciting.
That's a very smart woman.
Wonderful. Let's
So we
see.
are working with her to commercialize that product. And then there are some also two to three other founders, one in the mental health space,
Okay.
and then another one in the autism space, and then another one who is background from Nigeria, who is building like a teacher's lifelong learning platform.
Oh my goodness. This is now I understand also why you're connected with Vera as well in because Vera's part of this venture capital community in medicine.
Yeah,
So, oh, that's interesting. Wow, the
yeah,
world is a very small place. My goodness. Norman,
yes,
I don't want to take up more of your time. I feel so bad. It's been so wonderful and it's so generous of you to just give us some insight. This video, I will post it up on a YouTube channel that I have that after the book is done, it will be advertised like crazy where job seekers can go into the YouTube channel and just get insights from the other side of the desk, right? On,
yeah.
how to interview and get more insights on resumes and so thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time. I really appreciate this.
You are very welcome. Thank you as well
Thank you.
for
If there's
taking the time.
anything that I can do in return for you, your community, your projects, if there's anything I can help with, please don't be shy to tap back into me, and I'd be happy to collaborate.
Always welcome. Thank you so
Thank-
much.
My gosh, Norman, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Bye.